Hi, everyone. Let's see who are in here. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Risaline. I hope I said the name right. Let's wait for a couple more people to join us. This is my first Q&A, so this is going to be my trial video. We'll see how it goes. But I want to make sure, Melissa, hi, Melissa. We're just waiting on a few more people to join us. This is my first Q&A live here on YouTube, so we'll see how this goes in the next few minutes. Hopefully everything goes well. I have some questions that I've been receiving from people, my loyal followers. Hi. So I'm going to get to as many as I can, and I'm going to be looking. So if you see me turning my eyes, is that I'm looking at the questions that you post in the comment box as well as on my phone. So don't think that I'm not ignoring you. It's just that I'm trying to get as many questions as I can in. But I'm definitely going to be looking priority at this comment box where I see Jessica, Melissa, Risaline, and so start writing your questions. I'm going to give couple more minutes because the first thing that I want to cover for those individuals that are going to be taking the NCLEX soon, that are finishing up nursing programs and that they don't know where they stand in terms of scheduling their appointment or what's going to happen, what are the updates. That's the first thing that I'm going to cover because I get a lot of those same questions. Okay, so for those that are already in the chat, are you part of those questions, or like what specific questions do you have? Because you're already here. So I want to make sure I cover the questions that you have first. And that goes for Melissa, Jessica, Risaline. I'm not sure if John Q is in here, but what specific questions do you have? Okay, so Melissa Julie says, are you going to be doing a video for how to answer prioritization questions? Definitely. So as you see, I've been doing several videos on NCLEX test taking strategies. I've been putting in there some videos that cover questions only. I've been doing that recently most. I've been trying to target the select all that apply because that is the one I'm going to say it. You love those, right? I'm sure you love those. No one likes that. Everybody hates select all the apply. So I try to cover those a lot too because I do get emails for those types of questions. But I am going to be doing another video. It's probably, my goal was to make these question videos weekly. But then what I do is that in the week that I'm planning the videos, I am trying also to gather information on emails that I get from all of you in order to incorporate. So I'm actually right now planning my next video. I know that's the killer, Melissa. I'm sure you're talking about the select all the apply, right? Nobody likes them. So what I'll do is that for my next question video, which I'm going to be putting up, if I don't put it up by the end of this week, because I'm going to be doing a good seizure video this week, I'm definitely going to put it up by like Sunday or Monday. Okay, so I can do that one on prioritization if you want. That can focus on that. I'll probably incorporate some high veloma. Hopefully I'm saying your names right, guys, because I'm one that I do not like when my name is said wrong. So if I say any name that's not right, just let me know. So she says, I'm so happy to be here. I love your favorite. Thank you. Thank you for the support. So I'm going to do my next video on prioritization. I'll incorporate some select all the apply too, but I'll definitely do that for you, Melissa. Not a problem. And yeah, if you guys have suggestions, and when I say guys, it's just something I use in general. I know that there's girls and guys and everything, but I just can't seem to find a word that's like the best word to speak with everyone at once. So I always just say guys for some reason. I don't want to say everyone. I think it's like a boring word, but no problem. So I want you to tell me what you want to see. You know, I know that there are so many other channels out there. I know that. When I started this channel, I'm so appreciative for all the support that all of you have given me because this channel has grown so much. My intention was always to have a channel that I can provide education in a way that I would have loved to have received it myself when I was in school. As you know, nursing, if you've seen my introductory video on this channel, Dr. Registered Nurse, nursing is my second career. So when I went into nursing, I came with a business background, and I really did not understand a lot of the stuff that was being taught in the way it was being taught. So I always said that when I had the opportunity, specifically the credentials and experience to do this for other individuals, that I was going to do it. Let's see. Who else is asking me a question? So I appreciate that you all are supporting this channel like you are. It has grown immensely. Hi, Jessica. See, looking back at March and April staffing in hospitals, what does that mean for new grads? For example, would going into elective procedures be not as good? Looking back at March and April staffing in hospitals. Okay. So I'm assuming that you are a new grad and you're asking about how staffing is going to work in the realms of this pandemic that we have. Is that correct, Jessica? And would it be a good idea for patients to go for elective procedures? I just want to make sure I understand your question. So looking back at March and April staffing in hospitals, what does that mean for new grads? For example, would going into elective procedures be not as good? So if you're a new grad, I feel so bad for all of you. I feel so bad for everybody that's going into any type of new employment, because right now with this quarantine and this pandemic, everyone's life is like unsure. So it's a good question, because new grads, usually we want new grads. We encourage people to apply for jobs right away, right after you take your boards. And actually in many states, you can work as a graduate nurse. You don't even have to wait for that license to come in. They do give you a time frame though, about 3 months. And if you fail that board, the NCLEX, you will not be employed. Obviously, that's like pending that test. They will not give you another chance. So, we'll wait another 3 months. No. So if you don't pass that test, the graduate nurse permit is done. However, now with this whole pandemic, they're being very careful, not only for new grads, but also for people that are doing clinical. Like currently, I'm teaching clinical virtually several days a week for some universities. So it's totally different experience. I am a very hands-on person. So this is all new to all of us, but it's a good experience because now we are ready in case this were to happen again. Unfortunately, a lot of hospitals have frozen their employment, so they're not hiring as much. They would prefer people that have already come in with experience, because you are going to be dealing with patients that have COVID-19 or other serious illnesses. And now they're trying to restrict a lot of the people that come into the hospitals as well. So in terms of elective surgeries, now I also work in the same day surgery department, and it has been very limited since March. I'm talking about emergency procedures. I don't see it. Let's consider an elective surgery, breast implants. That's not something that's going to happen. So nothing that can wait is going to be happening now unless it is due to an emergency. For example, if somebody was diagnosed with colon cancer and they need to get a colonoscopy in order to see if it has spread or something like that, that they will do, but not because you are scheduled to get a colonoscopy because it's the year that it's your turn. You turned 50, big 50, and now you need it. No, all elective surgeries will wait. Now, I live in the state of New Jersey. So they will be opening up on the 27th of May, I believe I heard. However, it's going to be a slow process. Let me see the question. I'm graduating in December. When do you think I should start studying for the NCLEX, and how and where do I start? It's a lot of information. Definitely, it is a lot of information. Big recommendation. I am part of the NCSBSN. Oh my God, I said that wrong. I'm part of the nursing board NCLEX panel. That's the easiest way to say it. So I'm one of those individuals that gives their 2 cents as to the questions that are going to be placed on the NCLEX. And also I am involved in a lot of the test taking strategies portion, which is why I bring you that to this channel, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring something to students that, even though I know that there are a lot of people out there that do it, I wanted to bring my own little sauce to it. So the board, and I can put a link in the description of this video for you. and for anyone that has similar questions, they have their own study plan. Like, I don't know if you know this. I know that there's UWorld, that there's a bunch of other things out there, but they have their own study plan where if you have 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, it's so affordable. It's like $50. It can range from $50 to $100. And the only difference is the amount of weeks. So I suggest that if you are ready to take your boards, like Melissa, if you right now are done with school and you want to take your boards, I suggest you study for at least 4 weeks. Now, I've had friends and students that the minute they get that number, in order for them to do that test scheduling, they take it within a week or two. I couldn't do that for myself. So you kind of have to know how you work. I am a little bit of a procrastinator with certain things, but I wouldn't do that for the NCLEX. So I wouldn't just, okay, I'm ready, I'm going to go. I need to plan. So the best scenario that I tell others, as well as when I'm in those conferences with other colleagues, is 4 weeks. You should at least study for 4 weeks, but you should do a pre-test of some sort. Saunders is a really good resource. But again, going to your nursing board, and I'm going to put the link down below at the end of this live stream, and look into that, because they break up your study plan according to the weeks, and they have a pre-test, they have quizzes, they have content, and it's so easy to follow. I actually have a student that failed their boards, and they didn't know about that, and they're doing it, and they said they love it. So I will definitely put that in there. Jessica says, I have 1 year left in school, and I am wondering if elective procedures is a good option. I want to do OR, but I know that some nurses got laid off due to being elective. Okay. So, all right. So that goes back to the other question you had. So you want to work in basically same day surgery department, right? Okay. So that, I don't think it would be a good option for you at this moment, but you have 1 year left in school. So, this is what I say, and I have a video on this specific topic. Now, I don't want you to hate me for saying this or anything. I am so against going into specialties right out of nursing school. It's not even funny. Like, I was one of those that wanted to go to OR. I wanted to be, my OR nurse, because I think those scrubs are cute. At that time, I was like, I'm not going to deal with, perfect that you saw that. I'm not going to deal with patient care. I don't want to do none of that. I just want to go in the OR, because I thought, I had a totally different mentality as to what it was, right? And the OR is not only in the OR, but you can also have PACU, which is the recovery. Then you can also do same day, which is for outpatient surgeries, electives. I made a huge mistake. Within 3 to 4 months, I was out of there. I felt like I was just like, I'm a very big critical thinker. I like to learn things constantly. I just felt that I was in and out of a supply room. I wasn't getting that patient contact that I thought I didn't want, but then I realized I did. So I went into a med surg pretty quickly after that. And I don't regret it one bit. It has opened so many opportunities for me. And now it's an additional training that I have, right? Because instead of me going to a specialty where I'm going to be limited to that and then be seen as a new nurse if I were to move on to another one, now I have an additional skill. So, but if you want to go to the OR, hey, don't let me tell you otherwise. However, right now, they're not hiring as much for that. They're hiring more for med-surg units, because that's where the critical needs are, especially when they're dealing with COVID-19 patients. So, but you have a year to go. So things, will change. They change every day. And I haven't watched the news in like 3 days, because honestly, it gives me a headache. But I want you to stay, in touch with me. What state do you live in, Jessica, by the way? Melissa says, I didn't know about this plan. I'll definitely check it out. Okay, definitely check it out. I will put the link down below in the description, and you will love it. Start up with the pre-test. Oh, you live in Nevada. Okay, I do not know anyone in Nevada, but I can find out. Stay in touch, okay? Nurses, it's a small community. Trust me, even though it's huge. We all see each other eventually. We're in the same conferences. We travel everywhere. So I'll see what I can find out for you. Melissa lives in Jersey. I live in New Jersey as well. I live in South Jersey. Jessica says, we are in Las Vegas and we want to leave when I graduate. Okay, where do you want to go to, Jessica? But going back to the study plan, do a pre-test, okay? That's going to determine what your weakness is, okay? I know that that's like, oh, wow, that's common sense, duh, right? But you don't know how many people don't do it that way, okay? Because they feel a level of comfort going to the things they do know already, so they can kind of build their self-esteem. Oh my God, I got this, I got this. But that's not how you should do it. You should start the other way around so that it's kind of easier when you get to the other side, because you already know it's kind of a review. So when I did this, when I studied for my boards, I studied for, actually I studied for like 6 weeks at the moment, because at that time, because I forgot what was happening, but I think there was like a schedule delay, and I did that. I did a pre-test, and it turned out my weakness was cardiac, and I love cardiac now, right? And I started there, and then my second one was neuro, and then I went to neuro, and then I just worked as the test said, and it worked great. I also used Kaplan. Okay, at that time, the boards didn't have that review course that I'm telling you about, but they do. They've had it for the last couple years. But Kaplan was really great. You might think this is funny, so I don't know. If the book has a font of like 10, I'm not even gonna look at it. I cannot. I am very visual learner, and Kaplan to me was excellent. I loved their book. It was fun. It was very interactive, and it's the way that I prefer to learn. Let's see. Jessica says, I don't know yet where, but Las Vegas economy just got wrecked and we missed the seasons. Definitely, because I guess they depend a lot on the casinos and they've been closed. I've never been to Vegas. I actually wanted to go to Vegas this year, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Melissa, I live in South Jersey too. Oh God. Where in South Jersey? So that's what I would do in terms of studying. But let me go over the, I have it written down here because it was a kind of a lot. The boards really doesn't change. Williamstown, okay. I am very familiar with Williamstown. There's a racetrack there that we go to. It's called Wagner Park. My husband is has a hobby of RC racing, and that's where he races. So I'm familiar with Williamstown because of that. So I have it written down here. So they really don't offer constant updates, guys. So I see a lot of videos out there on YouTube that every single week they're saying updates on NCLEX, updates. It's one update. If you want, you can go to the NCLEX website and it's there. It does not change. And when it does change, it's like a big deal. Okay. So the last change, which happened back in March, okay, this is effective from March 25th to September 30th, 2020. There's a minimum of 60 questions. Okay. Remember that the minimum used to be 75 questions. And there's a maximum of 130, which is a big difference from the 250 plus questions that you had. Now, with that also comes a decrease in the time that you have to take it. So it's no longer 6 hours. It went down to 4 hours. But again, you don't have the additional questions. Now, you may ask, well, if they're giving less questions, how is that going to affect the score I get, or how to determine if I'm a safe practicing nurse? Because remember, the NCLEX are just testing you on how safe you are. It's not, yes, you have to have a knowledge, but it's how safe you are. And with that comes critical thinking skills. And that's where a lot of you getting mixed up. You're not going to pass the boards on factual information. For example, a digoxin level, a potassium level. Okay, that's not what's going to pass the boards. What's going to pass the boards is you getting a scenario question and you critically thinking the question, like I do in the videos that I provide in this channel. And then you're going to pick the answer that they would say, if they pick that answer, that means that they know A, B, C, D, and E that leads to that. Those are the questions that are going to pass you, okay? A lot of students think that it's just on everything. No, there's a reason why there's a range, and there's a reason why this exam is catered to how you're answering the previous question. So if I answer question 1 a certain way, question 2 will be determined by that way that you answered, okay? So the difficulty level and passing standard has not changed. So it's the same. It's just that there are less questions in terms of minimums is 60, and it goes up to 130. Now, remember that it gives you 4 hours. You do get a few breaks. So you get one break after 2 hours, and again after 3.5 hours. And in addition to those, you can take as many breaks as you want, okay? However, take into account that the breaks count against the time that you have. So with the new test system, you only have 4 hours. So if you're in there taking breaks here and there and everywhere, you're going to have very little time to complete your test, okay? So again, minimum of 60 questions, maximum of 130, and 4 hours instead of the 6 hours. The difficulty level and passing standards are the same. Now, big thing is in every NCLEX, the way that they get other questions. Hi, Shay. Did I say, is it Shay? Please pray for me. My exam is tomorrow. Thank you, Big. This is timely. Hi, Berenice. Okay, so Shay, it's great that you're watching my live, but I really hope that you're not studying right now, because you're not supposed to be studying. You're supposed to be, watch me, listen to me. Great. I hope that you had a relaxing day, but I don't want to cyclically see that you are reading a book or trying to study something that you saw on Instagram and, oh my God, I didn't know that. And now I have to go. Don't do that to yourself, because you're going to drive yourself crazy too. The day before your test is supposed to be about relaxation. Okay. So, you know how in every NCLEX questions that you get, there are test questions, okay? Test questions meaning that they come from the next generation NCLEX research section. So that means that those questions do not count towards your grade in the NCLEX exam. So that's out. That's why you have 60 questions up to 130 instead of the almost 300 questions, okay? So those test questions that don't count are no longer there, okay? So don't worry about that. Now, remember that any breaks you take do not count. They do count against your time. So if you have the 4 hours, and how I said earlier, if you're taking a lot of breaks, that's going to get discounted for your time. So make sure you only take a break if you need to. Have a good hearty breakfast. I always think, oh, you're welcome, Shay. I always tell my students to incorporate pineapples into their breakfast that morning. Pineapple is rich in the sugar that your brain needs for it to function great and efficiently. So if you are taking your test tomorrow, Shay, as long as you're not allergic to pineapples, incorporate that into your breakfast, and you will see that you're like, oh my God, a light bulb's gonna go up in your head. Hopefully you like pineapples. I like pineapples. I'm from the Caribbean, so I like all those tropical fruits. Now, another question that I got was the ID. So being that everyone has been quarantined and motor vehicle is closed still on, I think that they said until the end of May or even June 1st, they are able to accept any ID that is expired as long as it was expired during this quarantine time and is a state issued ID. A state issued ID could be a passport or a driver's license. It has to be state issued. It cannot be a school ID. Okay, it has to be a government issued ID. If you have accommodations, you know that there are individuals that need a little bit extra time because they have a special plan in place, special accommodations. If you are one of those, you need to make sure that you are scheduling your NCLEX with time and know that there might be a delay, because they have to make sure that they can provide the proper center for you to take it where they can accommodate you. So those people that have accommodations have experienced some delays in registering for their test. And some have, even without accommodations, have experienced cancellations because, you know, things happen, centers close, people get sick, and they are very strict with social distancing, just like all of you should be, okay? So that is my NCLEX update. Like, I literally wrote all that down because I've gotten about 15 questions that incorporate all of that I just said. So I'm looking through the comments here to see if there are any other questions. So come on, ask me something, somebody. Let's see, did I miss any? I'm looking through here. Who else is in here? Let's see. Oops. Are there any last minute questions that you have, Shay? Jessica, I am in the ADN program and I definitely want to continue at least 2 masters, maybe doctorate. And don't say maybe, just do it. I do not say maybe. Do you recommend going to a state school, university for BSN or online only programs as competitive? So I did my master's and my doctorate online. That is, now we are in a different era where people actually, they do work, they have families, they try to have some sort of a life. So programs know that. And although sometimes you might have to go to the campus for certain things, like there are certain doctorate programs and graduate master's programs that you have to go certain weekends or maybe twice, 3 times, maybe even 4 times during a semester to the school. A lot of them are 100% online. I strongly, strongly, strongly recommend that you continue on your education in advance to get an advanced degree. Now, it all depends on your goals, right? What the reason I got a doctorate, that was more of a personal goal. I try to do things on my own pace. I never want to be forced to do anything, and the way that everything's going is that they expect more and more from any career, not only in nursing, not in teachers, everywhere. They expect more and more. So I wanted to have everything I had to have so that I would never be expected to do anymore unless I wanted to do more. So I strongly recommend for you, if you are in an associate's program, you can do your bachelor's online while you work. Heck, the hospital that you work usually will have tuition reimbursement or tuition remission, and they can pay for it. And that is usually quicker because you already have the RN portion. Then you can even find programs that have bridge programs that go from like BSN to doctorate or even masters and doctorates combined. So that will also save you, I think, 1 year. It's a longer time, but it does save you a little bit of time. That's why it's convenient for some. But if you have an online option, go ahead. If you like online, I have a lot of friends that do not like an online program at all. They're not good with computers. They just don't want to, they need that interaction in a classroom. Personally, I couldn't do it anyway. I have a family at work, so I couldn't go sit in a classroom like I did when I got my bachelor's. So for me, online worked. Now, when I started the online, when I did my master's, and I did it at the same school, in the beginning it was like, oh my God, this is new to me. But you get used to it. With anything, you get used to it. If you can function, like if you can work your phone, you can work an online program. And you do have to have dedicated time to it. I'm just looking to see if they send me any messages on my phone. So the competitive part, don't look at that. An advanced degree is an advanced degree. It doesn't matter if you go to Harvard or if you go to your local community college that goes into a university, it doesn't matter. As long as you have your advanced degree, depending on your goals, like do you want to teach? Okay, I am a strong believer in credentials and experience. So if you want to teach nurses, go for your master's. You should have a minimum of a master's from someone that's educating you. That person should have a minimum of a master's, if not higher. If you want to go into administration in a college, definitely you're going to have to go for your doctorate. Melissa's asking, on your website, do you have more quizzes I can use to practice on how to answer questions in school? Well, on my website, I have a bunch of questions on NCLEX questions and quizzes that relate to my videos. However, my videos are linked in my website. So if you go to the video section, the YouTube video section in my website, it links you to the channel. Let me see, I can use it. So Melissa, have you seen the NCLEX test taking strategies, any of the NCLEX videos that I've done on the channel? Let's see who else. Let me see if I missed any questions. Let me know, Shay, if you're still on. I want to make sure that if you have any question whatsoever. Okay. Thank you, Jessica, that you love them. And I'm going to do, I think, what was it you that said about prioritization? I'm going to be doing, oh, that was Melissa. I'm going to be doing prioritization video for next time. for next week. I forget how many questions I did in my last video. I think I did 3. I try to do quality as opposed to quantity. And as you see, if you've seen the videos, they can be like 10, 12 minutes, and it's only like 2 or 3 questions because I really go into detail into each question, and I practice the strategies that I'm teaching you. That even goes to the seconds that you should wait to think. I think it's very important that you understand that. Yeah, it's usually going to be 2 or 3, but as you see, I really go into detail, and we practice the test taking strategies, which is why I keep saying go watch the test taking strategies, because every time I'm reviewing it in each of the videos. But if you come with that ready, it's a totally different experience. So when I say to you, okay, you have to take at least 20 to 30 seconds to think about what the question is asking you. So if it's asking you about NG tubes, you're going to take 20 to 30 seconds to think about everything about NG tubes. I literally will pause for 20 to 30 seconds in my video. Okay, usually it's like 20 seconds. And it's like an awkward pause, but that is the pause that you need to do. Okay, and I want you to get used to doing that. There's a reason why you get a certain amount of time per question. They don't just give it to you, oh, let's just give them time. No, they give it to you understanding that you need to take time to understand what you're being asked. Okay, but how I said in the next video that I'll put up, probably by Monday, I'm going to do prioritization questions only. And I can incorporate select all that apply as well into those. Let's see if I missed any questions. Is there any other additional, and I'm going to write them down because this is my first live, so I don't know how long this transcript from all your questions stay. So I'm going to write them down. What type of content do you want to see in the near future? I'm going to be doing a seizure one this week. So what type of content do you want to see for those that are still in the chat? Let's see. Who's still in the chat? There's 8 of you in the chat. Do you want me to talk about, we already know that you want more prioritization questions. Hello, Rafi. Am I saying that right? Or is it Ralph? I think you're all the way at the bottom. Sorry, I'm like going like this because I can't see your name right. You're from my Facebook. So I have prioritization. What else do you want to see for me to work on in the next few videos? Do you want to see, let me think, different dialysis modalities? Do you want to see TPN? Select all the apply, maybe genetics. Okay. So I'm definitely going to be doing in every video I do for test taking, select all the applies. So that's definitely something that I'm always going to do. So make sure you look out for that. And then genetics. Now, genetics is a big, broad topic. So is there any specific things about genetics that you want to learn, or just a generalized? What are genetics? Like, what is there something specific that you're interested in learning about? That was Melissa that asked that. I'm like sweating, guys. If you hear any background noise, those are my kids. I'm telling them to be quiet. Do you just curious? So Rafi asks, do you have any videos on Alzheimer's disease and related dementia? Okay, so I don't have any videos yet, but I can definitely do a video on it. So I'm writing it down. And dementia. I'm definitely going to do that, Rafi, because that's actually close to my heart. My grandmother died in 2018 from Alzheimer's. She had a long battle with it, actually, but we had people that were caring for her one-on-one in the house. She was in the Dominican Republic. That's where she retired. And she had Alzheimer's, I'll say, for like 15 years, which is unheard of. Because as you know, one of the things that happens with Alzheimer's is that it's not that they don't know that they're hungry. It's like hunger eliminates from their brain. So they don't even know what that was. But that doesn't mean they're not hungry, that their body doesn't need nutrition. Obviously, we all need to eat. So we had someone caring for her, gave her the food, and when she didn't want it, they still gave it. It's different than here, right? Like when a patient tells us no, we kind of try to educate them in order for them to make a better decision, but we have to respect their no. So that's what I think that helped, that we had someone privately take care of her and didn't take her no for an answer and gave her food. I mean, for her to be 15 years with this disease, which is a very declining, I mean, deteriorating to the brain. It was amazing to see. And I say amazing because it's like to see the progress of how worse disease can get. And sometimes they might have like a light and like, oh, hi, and they remember who you are, but then they go back. But it does take good care to have these patients live long. They need to eat. They need to drink water. You need to care for them. That you cannot take no for an answer when caring for Alzheimer's patients. Unless they had a stroke and they're now at risk for aspiration or choking, then there's other measures. But definitely, I think that helped a lot. Melissa says, yeah, I took care of a patient before the pandemic, started at her early stages, and it was really, really sad. Definitely. I mean, and I'm telling you, and you can read research articles on this because I read a lot on it because I was going through that with her. And the key is maintaining their nutritional status, because remember, if you don't have proper albumin levels, so for those that are in the nursing programs and medical programs, you know what I'm talking about. Rafi, I'm sure that you've heard of it. Albumin, you need that protein in order for you to heal, in order for you to function, right? So if you're not getting enough nutrition and none of those vitamins, how are you going to heal? How are you going to be able to sustain life? You need your vitamins, you need the nutrition, you need hydration. But a lot of Alzheimer's patients refuse or just keep their mouths shut. They just don't want anything because they don't, but they need someone there to encourage it and not take no for an answer when it's kind of in your home. Now, unfortunately, because of we have to care for patients in the hospital, we have to respect the patient's family wishes. But I'm talking about personally for my grandmother in her home, and she, how I said, retired to the Dominican Republic. We actually two people caring for her 24/7 that did not take no for an answer. Shay says, I love the NCLEX questions, the way you dissect them. If you can add more, definitely. So I'm going to be putting up NCLEX questions. My goal was originally every week, but I was like, oh my God, because I try to give you everything that you asked of me, but I was trying to debate, like, let me do a schedule and see what works best. And in the week, I got a message in Facebook. In the week that I am not doing, let's say, that video, I'm answering a question in YouTube Live. In the week that I'm not doing that NCLEX review questions, I'm actually writing them, because if you see, I make my own questions up, and that takes time because the question has to make sense. The question has to be critical thinking. I'm not gonna. You're hardly ever gonna see a question from me that's asking about a DIG level, and I use that because that's like the most famous one, right? Or a potassium level. All of my questions are critical thinking questions, and they're my questions. So that takes time. So I'm definitely going to be doing that, if not every week, every other week. So I'm going to be working on the next one that I'm going to put up. I'm going to put it up on Monday. And thank you for letting me know that you like how I dissect them. That's why it's only like 2 or 3 questions, and it's usually under 15 minutes. But the reason why it's longer is because I do dissect them in that way, in order for you to understand it. Let's see, I'm looking and seeing if there's any questions I missed. And the questions also that I put on my website, I also write myself. Okay. So all those things take time. And I make a questions for every content video that I do in this channel, Dr. Registered Nurse. But I also put monthly, or I might start doing it bi-monthly, NCLEX questions. I've been doing it like monthly. In the beginning, I was doing a little more, but then I started doing the videos for the channel on questions. So I said, I don't want to like overload everything. So if you want me to do the additional NCLEX questions in my website, I will, and I won't do it monthly. I'll do it like twice a month. But know that for every content video, there are quiz questions on there, and they are all NCLEX style questions. So you're getting both. Melissa says, I am in an ADN program, but don't know yet what school to go for my BSN. Do you have any recommendations? All right, let's see. Okay, so definitely, you live in Jersey. Have you looked into Wilmington University? They have an all online program. Okay, a lot of people also go to Chamberlain, or what's the other one called? It's with a C, or Capella or something. I personally don't like those programs. I look a lot at the mission statement of the schools, and they really have to flow with what I believe. I really love Wilmington University. I mean, I did my master's there, and the moment that I realized that I had made the perfect choice, not only was because of classes, but the moment that I realized that I'm going to continue eventually my education to get my doctorate with them was on graduation day. Every faculty member, every staff was on each side of the aisle while we walked down. It was such an emotional, I felt like I was walking, like I was a football player walking into a football game, like running in. They made you feel so special. They're so accommodating. They're very adult friendly. They work with you. And let me tell you, I'm not here advertising for anybody. I'm just telling you my experience. I went to Wilmington for both my master's and my doctoral degree, and I would do it again threefold. I love, 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 love every single person in that faculty. Dr. Aaron Seebach is the person that's in charge of the doctorate program, but there are others in the BSN. So definitely look into them. And I hope that you advance your degree. Sorry, I got a tongue twisted. Advance your degree, and I want to see you with that master's gown, that graduate gown. And then if you want to continue to your doctorate, go for it. There's nothing stopping you. You're welcome, Melissa. Let's see if I missed any questions. I think I missed one. I'm trying to find it. Let me look at messages. I'm looking at my messages, guys, to see. Okay, here. Someone's asking me how they can log in, so I just told them. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. It's always, when I did my master's, this is me. Oh, I'm done. I'm super done. What's wrong with me? I've been in school forever and ever and never stop and ever. So I finished my master's in it was March of 2016. And I was like, okay, that year, great. I started teaching because, again, remember, if you are going to get content from someone, I'm telling you, I cannot stress this enough. Get it from someone that has the credentials, guys. Hi, Nurse Jessica. Guys, you need to go to her YouTube channel, Jessica Sites YouTube channel. She also has a Facebook page. She is hilarious. Okay, you need to go to her channel and her Facebook page. She is so funny and she's so cute. So in 2016, I was like, I'm done with school. What's wrong with me? I'm done. Oh my God. Well, August of 2017, as you saw from my introductory video, I was back at my doctorate. So it's just, you know, I love school, but I also, you know, I like getting experience from work and everything. But now, like, I just finished my doctorate, guys, but I'm getting that itch again. I'm like, oh my God, am I crazy, or what's wrong with me? I'm missing it. I'm like, should I look into law? I don't know. I think that education is priceless. I truly believe in always learning, 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 because you never know how this is going to work out for you. I mean, I'm looking at, should I go into law? That would be a perfect combination with everything I have, but I don't know. I just need to get a break. I need to go somewhere. I think this quarantine has us all crazy. Let's see. Hi. Oh, two bead, two vid. Hi, John. Let's see if I missed any questions up here. Just looking through the comments. I swear I missed one and I cannot find it. Let's see. Yeah, Ralph, it's definitely for Alzheimer's patients. It's definitely a struggle sometimes, but Melissa, trust me, doing clinical stuff online has been weird, but I've grown more. It has been. I mean, I do it on Mondays and Fridays. And I mean, I applaud the actual full-time staff that are working from home in order to make this clinical experience worthwhile for us as the faculty, the professors, and the students. Because if it wasn't for them, I don't know how this could work. I try to incorporate a lot of my personal experiences into the clinical setting. We do ATI, we do a bunch of scenarios, but it's definitely different because you want to be there with your patient. You know, simulation is fun and all, but one of the reasons you want to do clinical, especially this quarter where a lot of schools go into maternity, and everybody wants to do that maternity because they think that they're going to be seeing births, you know, 24/7, which is not the case. Okay, when I did my maternity clinical, I saw one birth and it was like accidental. I was walking around the corner to get something for the patient I was tending to. I think it was a baby. I don't even remember. And I happened to bump into a room where I saw people running. And I said, well, if people are running are for one or two things, a code or birth. So I ran wherever they were running, and that's how I encountered a birth. After that, the next birth I was involved in was my own. So I don't want you thinking that when you go to the maternity setting, you're going to be seeing births here and there and everywhere. There's droughts. Now, there are specific times in the year where you will definitely see births. So count 9 months after Christmas, 9 months after New Year's, 9 months after Valentine's, and definitely 9 months from the period this quarantine started to whenever it ends, because there will be a lot of babies born within the next year. I can assure you of that. So let's see what other questions you may have. Let's see. Any other questions, everyone? We're almost done. So Melissa, if you have any other questions regarding how to plan for your continuous studies, let me just email me, officialdrrn@gmail.com, and I will answer your email. If you want, we can even do a Zoom meeting. Share. Oh, when will I have a live again? Well, if you want me to have a live every week, I will. This is my first one. So I was seeing other people doing lives. I'm like, let me try that. Let's see how many people will show up, because I know that everybody's busy. So I said, let me pick up this time. And so maybe if this, you know, I'll see. You tell me when you want a live. Maybe we can do a live incorporating questions or skills or something. But how about if I have a live every other week? Can you say your email again, please? Yeah, so I'm going to write it down for you. So official Dr. RN at gmail.com. There it is. Official Dr. RN at gmail.com. Send me an email. I'm known to there's a few people in the last 2 weeks that have sent me emails that they're in LPN programs. They've asked me several questions, and I'll set up a Zoom meeting, and then we can go over. That's how I am. I want to help you. I wanted to do this channel for that purpose, in order for me to provide you, how I said in the beginning, a way of you to understand the material in a way that I would have liked it to be explained to me. That is the sole purpose. Oh no, shit. This is my first one, so you didn't miss anything. No worries. The sole purpose of me opening this channel, yes, it has grown, and I'm grateful and support, and I love the support that you're giving me. But I want you to know that that is my intention, to provide you that education. I have no other sole intention whatsoever. And I appreciate that you're supporting this channel, Dr. Registered Nurse, because I know that there's other channels that you could be watching. So I'm thankful that you've chosen this one as one of your resources to get you through nursing school, to get you through whatever issues, because I don't only cover nursing content. Yes, that's the main thing. You're welcome, Melissa. That's the main thing that I'm here for. But how I said in my introductory video, I also cover fun things, relatable things. I was actually going to read an empowerment article that I wrote for one of the nursing associations that was published. But I may, you know what, I'll leave that for the next one, because I want you to feel good about who you are. I want you to be able to go through nursing school thinking you are going to finish it. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. When I was in nursing school, I didn't see any light. Nobody could tell me, oh, there's a light. Oh, then I said, yeah, that's easy for you to say. No, I didn't see anything, but eventually I did. Okay, it took me almost failing one class for me to get that light to actually be visible. So everyone has been there. John Q, do you see patients with COVID-19? Actually, I haven't seen patients with COVID-19 myself. I have had family members that have had the COVID-19 and have been hospitalized. I've actually quarantined myself from seeing patients since this started in March, March 27th. My last week of working in the hospital was that week. And also teaching clinical, because they've stopped clinical teaching. But I have family members that have had it. I've personally done that because, one, my kids are home, so I have to be here, because now I'm, in addition to teaching my clinical students virtually, I'm also now a homeschool teacher, because I have a daughter that's in 2nd grade. So imagine that, right? Can you guess how that's going? So I feel, honestly, I'm doing a disjustice to her, but I think everybody's in the same playing field right now. Jalissa, I love this channel. I'm glad I can follow you from the beginning. I just ended my 1st semester successfully. That is great news. 1 semester down. I hope, one thing that I love when students do, and I see it, I do follow my students on Instagram. I know that might seem weird, but they send me a request. So I said, okay. They kind of have a calendar with the semesters. And if it's 20 semesters, they go 1, 2, 3, and they just cross it off. I love doing that stuff, even for my to-dos or any plans that I have. So you should start that if you haven't already, because it is an achievement. 1 semester done is 1 semester closer to finishing and going for those boards. So that's great. Melissa says, and thank you for following me from the beginning, Jalissa. I think I opened this channel January 5th, I think. I was so nervous, guys. You don't even know. Even to record my introductory video, it took me like 5 hours to say the first 5 minutes. I am usually I'll talk to my students, I'll teach them all day, forever, but I'm very timid when it comes to these cameras, and it's taken me a while to get comfortable. Because the internet is such a judgmental area, right? So you're like, okay, I'm going to be judged somehow. No one's going to like me, but then I got over it. Melissa says, please, can you put the link for the study plan before we finish tonight? Okay, so let me find it on my phone, and that way I can write it down in the comment section. Yes, John, a lot on my plate. NCSBN. practice. Okay. And another thing that they have now, the NCLEX is called CAT or CAT, that you can buy that online, and it's literally like the retired NCLEX questions, guys. So that is a really good thing that they just did. I think it started a few months ago. So you take it, and it's just like you taking the NCLEX. These are actual NCLEX questions that have been used, but they retire them after 5 years. So you can use that as practice. So let me look it up right here. Okay, so NCLEX, I'm looking up the link so I can write it. NCSBN NCLEX review. And make sure that all of you that are here still are sharing the channel, liking the videos, putting your comments. I read all the comments, guys. Like, people always say, "Oh, like you really read the comments there?" And I'm like, yeah, I answer as many comments as I can. Honestly, I think I answer all the comments. I'm going to put on the comments here the actual website, and then you just navigate it and you'll be able to find it. ncsbn.org. So if you go on that website, just find the review course and you'll find it, because I found the review course, but it's such a long link. So, but that's the main website. Let's see who else, if I missed anything before we end. Okay, I put my email on here, officialdrrn@gmail.com. So email me any questions. I find that hard to believe. Well, believe it, John. Listen, look, I was so nervous. It was just, and then the lighting. If you've looked at the progression of my videos, hopefully the lighting has gotten better, because that has been a constant struggle. So I know that it takes a long time to get it right. We've been trying and trying. Hopefully we've gotten it right, but there's always something. So you don't know how many takes it takes to complete a video. If it's taken me less time now, but in the beginning, I almost gave up. I said, "Oh no, this is not for me. I can't do this anymore. I got some gray hairs from it. It was just too much. I couldn't." Melissa says, "Trust me, I've sent the test taken video to my study group and my cohort FB group." Good. Did they subscribe though? Make sure you tell them to subscribe, like the videos, share with everybody they know. Always do that. That's how this channel has been growing, and it's getting pretty big so quickly. So I'm thankful for that. All right, guys. So I don't see any other questions that I've missed. Did you manage to write down the link for where the plan is for studying? It's right here, NCSBN. So it's N as in no, C as in cat, S as in son, B as in boy, N as in no.org. Navigate that website and you will find a study plan for both if you are taking the NCLEX PN for practical nursing or RN. So they have a bunch of different things. So let me know if you liked it. Email me, send me. If you are, you would look good in any lighting. Thank you, John. Melissa, I'm on it. Okay, so if you don't follow me, I have also an Instagram. If you have Instagram, I'll write it here, official doctor registered nurse. I would love to have you guys follow me there as well. I do put questions on there in my stories. I put a bunch of little study guides in my Instagram. I do also put it in my Facebook page and Facebook group. But I must say that I'm mostly on the Instagram. I do go on Facebook. I do go on Facebook several times a day, but when it comes to more active, it's more on my Instagram. So you will definitely find additional questions and additional material on that page. So I put it right there for you. So make sure to go and follow me and send me questions. So you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram. I also have a Twitter. I'm not really active on there. I do put my stuff on there. Usually my son will forward the stuff in there, but I kind of Don't understand Twitter as much, but I'm definitely on Instagram and Facebook. I've ventured into TikTok, but that's more with my daughters. That's for fun. All right, so if you don't have any questions, thank you so much. I've looked through the comments, so I've hopefully have answered everyone. Let me see. Let me look one more time. I think I did. Great. Thank you for being with me. Oh my God, it's gone an hour. I didn't even look at the time. Thank you for being here with me and asking me questions. I write them down. Make sure that you jot down all those resources that I gave you with my email, the study website. Follow me on Instagram on Official Dr. Registered Nurse. Follow me on Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm sure that all of you that are in the comments are, and share it. Like the videos, comment. I look at everything. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to be working on a new video this week on seizures. And I'm going to be putting another video. Last word for me before you close, please. I don't know what to think right now. I want you to go to sleep, Shay. I want you to go to sleep. Take a hot shower. You got this. Go to sleep, okay? Do not study. I don't want you looking at anything. If you want, connect with me. If you have Instagram, connect with me on Instagram. We can chat a little bit on the message and the DMs. But I do not want you looking at any content anymore. You need to relax. What you don't know, okay? I always tell you this. Actually, I'll give you this little advice. I don't know if you've heard it already. When you get into your test center, okay, and you sit down on that chair, you're going to be given something like this size. I don't know what size. It's like a scrap paper or something like a dry erase board. I want you, at the moment you get that, to write down all those lab values that you know. Get them out of your head. Get them out of your head so you don't think about it. Jot them down. Jot down any developmental stages that you sometimes forget. Jot them down on that paper. All those levels of medication, like digoxin level, the therapeutic levels, jot them down on that paper they give you. So you are literally going to put all that on that paper. Your ABGs that you know, put them on that paper, like Rome, your respiratory opposite, metabolic equal. Put them on that paper. Guess what? Now you have all that information that you had here on a paper. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. If you get a question on it, it's on your paper. Okay, so that's the number one thing that I want you to do when you go in there. But right now, I need you to take a shower, put your comfiest pajamas, watch a Netflix movie, and go to sleep. And make sure you incorporate pineapples in your breakfast. Wake up early, put your alarm with enough time. You only want to take this test one time, so make it happen tomorrow. Okay? All right, well, have a great night, guys. If you have any additional questions, just email me. Follow me on Instagram, how I said. But I look forward to seeing you in my future videos. Bye.